lot of you probably know me from, my slides are excellent. Most people probably know me from Ethers.js, but today I'll be talking to you about Firefly, our new exciting hardware wallet that we want to get in the hands of everyone. So, keeping an eye on my time, I see all the things. Okay, so what do we have? So what is Firefly? So Firefly, it's an open source firmware, open hardware wallet. It's going to be cost effective. Hopefully everyone will get them for free. We have like 126 to give out today, so feel free to drop by after and grab one. And it's customizable. You can do whatever you want with it. If you want to start your own Firefly competitor and just take our hardware and our software, you can run with it. If you can produce this cheaper than us, we welcome you to. The goal is to get security in the hands of people everywhere, no matter what. And so if you have a more cost-effective or a better way to disseminate to a group of people we can't reach, we want that. So again, it's about making hardware wallets fun again, whether you want to put a game on it, whether you want it to be like a little animated GIF thing, Pong. If you have a CryptoKitty you really like and you just want like a hardware wallet that's just dedicated to that CryptoKitty only forever, you can do it. So assembly. Originally this was going to be a 2-hour assembly thing. So if you want to build your own, you're starting your own empire for Firefly, you're trying to take us out, first thing you need is a crew. So my parents and my wife over here, we got together, and in an evening, it took about an hour and a half, and I think we made 200 Firefly. My parents aren't super technical, and they can build these things. I actually have one here I was going to build on stage, but I think I will forgo that just because I'm running out of hands. Things you need basically a pile system. You need a pile of the panelized boards. So 6 Fireflies come per board. This is all in a script in the repository. If you want a single PCB board, you can do it and just have one Firefly per board. If you've got a crazy manufacturing facility and you want a kilometer square of these things, you can just type those numbers in and, power to you. So you have a pile for your completed Fireflies, your displays, the cases, and that's really it. It just clips together. Again, it's designed to be nice and simple. We're trying to reduce costs to make it easier to do what you want to do. Right, so step 1, I just cover this. You depanel it, it just snaps off. And there you go, there's your Firefly. Then you clip your little screen in. I'm not going to do that right now. Again, lack of hands. And it snaps in. It's like a snap fit, so it has a nice satisfying click once it all works. Okay, so that's assembling. Provisioning. So this is where you might, if you were trying to compete with us, do your own thing. So we have a private key that we use to sign each device. So the device generates the private key for attestation on the device. It's never been on any computer ever. It also is why it takes 2 minutes to provision a device sometimes. RSA is kind of crazy. You basically pick a bunch of random numbers, do some rudimentary math to make sure it's not obviously not coprime, and then you burn that to the chip, and first it sends that to a signing server, which signs it. It's a bunch of back and forth, but at the end of the day, you get proof on the device, evidence on the device that it can use to prove that it's a genuine device. So if you're trying to build your own CryptoKitty empire that each CryptoKitty lives on a device, now the device can prove to the world, I am a genuine device issued by Axiom Zen, and I have not been tampered with. And cost breakdown, just for those that are curious. The costs are there. You can take a look at. The big cost for us right now is the case, which is 3D printed. We're doing low runs of 500 at a time, so that's a huge cost right now. But once we move to injection molded, you can imagine that goes down to 12 cents. That's $2 off of the cost. So we get down from $9 to 10. Canada has a lot of extra tariffs, so there's another $1 we're paying. So anyways, there's places to save money, and we're trying to bring the cost down. Yes, and huge thanks to ENS DAO, Public Goods Working Group. Their funding helped us with the first 2,000 devices, and so we're 650 out of those 2,000. So the next event will have another 1,000, and I that is my talk, and I have 10 seconds left, but I think there is time allotted for questions, so.
Yes. Thank you, Richard. We got our first. Thank you.
Hello. How can you ensure that each of the devices are unique and no duplicates have been made?
Duplicates in what sense?
In their baked-in private key.
So the private key is generated using like thermal noise on the device. During the provisioning process, we also jam it full of extra entropy. And so it mixes the entropy we give it, and it takes its own entropy and smushes them together to like make, I mean, we could produce fraudulent devices, but that attestation key is more of a threat to us if someone else gets it. But there's a digital signing peripheral on the device that makes sure that private keys, encryption key is all stored, and the CPU can't reach it. Like, even if you write your own firmware, which you're more than welcome to do, you can't ever get that private key off. Like, we can't, so.
Thank you.
Next. Okay.
Thank you. This is amazing. If someone was to try to dedicate some time to hack either the firmware or the hardware stack, where should we start?
Please come see me. We will be. I'm hoping to get a bounty out for people. I exactly want to pay people to try hacking it.
Awesome.
I want you to like, if you think you found a way to like glitch the device or undervolt it. The devices are currently based on the ESP32C3 version Rev 0.4. So the glitching issue that affected the previous ESPs is not currently known to affect this. But if you can do it, I mean, A, we would love it, and B, I'm sure Espressif would love to talk to you as well, because
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I was just being reminded off stage to check out the Twitter, because it's at Firefly Pocket, because that will, I should have put that on the slides, because that will be a good place for you to kind of track all the crazy things we're working on. And if we post a bounty, that's where it'll be. Sorry, I cut someone off that was asking.
Oh, yeah. I have a question when it compares to other hardware wallets, right? Like, there seems to be a dominant player called Ledger. How do you compare to that? How would you help us sell Firefly to the users of Ledger and make them convinced we should all use Firefly now?
So in that regard, I mean, I feel like there's still space for all these players out there. That we're not trying to conquer the world. The goal is not market share. The goal is just, I mean, providing that competition that maybe makes them do a different thing better, or there's definitely, yeah, we're not trying to conquer the world. But one huge focus we are dedicated to is A, we're Ethereum first, basically Ethereum only. I mean, Ethereum adjacent only. Obviously, like your Arbitrums and all that work, but we don't focus on Bitcoin or those other things. And so a huge part of Ethereum is really meaningful, clear signing. Like, we don't want, the word blind signing should never occur on your device unless you're calling a method in a contract called blind sign, in which case it's a terrible name. Don't call your project like that. So yes, that's the big thing we're aiming for, is like, yeah, death to blind signing.
Last question. Okay.
Yeah, not quite a question. I actually just want to say thank you for Ethers.js.
Oh,
You've made Ethereum accessible.
Thanks. I'll be talking about Ethers on Friday if you're around and want to hear some hidden gems for the API. But yes,
Amazing.
Thank you.
And then so to see you do another project like this that makes signing accessible, and it's amazing. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Last question. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. And Richard, thank you so much for this. Let's give a hand of applause to Richard. Wow. All too soon. Thank you.